Hello there, gang, and welcome to another episode of Displaying Model Behaviour, the Earth's mightiest action figure video podcast. So take off your pants, crack a beer, and let's talk toys. Let's talk about the Controller Bath. This is a bath that came out. Thanks very much for watching, guys. I hope you know I've already done that joke before. What are we going to say about this guy, though? Not a lot. Certainly not one of the strongest bath efforts that Marvel Legends have put out. There's always kind of a cliche that waves tend to be either really strong wave and a crummy bath, or a really great bath and a pretty forgettable wave. This is definitely, I can't remember what order I put them in. It's either the former or the latter. Whichever one I said has a crummy Build-A-Figure. I'm not going to be that guy who sits there and goes, who asked for this? Because I do that all the time. I have no doubt there are a lot of people who are very, very happy to get the controller. That's cool, no problem. Especially because I'm looking at this going, oh, why didn't they use this body for a spider side? That would have been a perfect body for this. Why haven't we got a spider side? Said me and no one else in the world. So I don't mind the rather obscure characters. That's cool, that's fine. But it's just like, the bath is meant to be the thing that inspires you to get the entire wave. The thing that justifies buying trash like this to get the elusive Build-A-Figure piece. And then you got it, and it's like, is this it? There's just not much to it. So it's the Thanos body, which I do give a bit of credit for. Or at least, not credit, but an allowance for. In that this, canonically, his robotic armor that this dude wears, this version, I think, was provided by Thanos. It is a takeoff of his armor, so it makes sense, actually. I'm sure someone at Hasbro got a gold star for going, wait a minute, lads. I found a reuse for the Thanos body. So, you know, that actually checks out. It all makes sense. But there's just not much to it then. So all it is, I'll give you some credit there. The light blue with the dark blue wash, it's pretty. That's actually quite pretty. I kind of like that. So that's good. And then we've got the head here, but this is where it starts to sort of fall down a little bit, is that really, you got fisted hands, you got open and fisted hands and the one head, but it's just really uninspiring. That's the problem I have with this figure. It's not bad as such. It's just not good. It's forgettable. This is going to be a forgettable Build-A-Figure. I don't think anyone's going to be paying the big bucks for controller years from now. No one's going to be like, oh man, you got a controller? Wow, how much did that cost you? Is it a knockoff one? Did you have to go to like, you know, what? No, these are going to be selling pretty cheap, I would imagine. The face is okay. I will say, I do like what they've done here with the sort of wash on the face, all the craggy and scraggy lines and stuff. That's kind of cool. The deep set eyes, that looks nice with the rings around them. Looks very zombie-ish. Looks very just monstrous, kind of scary. I like that. That's cool. So I'm feeling a bit schizophrenic about this because I started this review very negative and I'm like, oh, he's not good. He's kind of boring. He is, but at least I'm finding some happiness going on with this face here. And it's a good facial expression. I'd maybe like something a bit more, something a bit more interesting. But for what it is, it's okay. That's okay. That's about it. Now then, one problem with the Thanos body is that because of the thickness of the arms, it's just this single joint here, and you don't really get much articulation with the hands. There's just not a huge amount you can do with him. He really is just going to kind of just sort of stand there with his control discs in his hand. And this I also thought was just kind of funny, was that the control discs are actually molded onto his hand. And this is, you want to hear what a petty, ridiculous human being I am? Well, here you go. This is just evidence to what you already know. I hate the fact that the discs are sculpted on, but they're positioned in a way where, in order for gravity to allow them to be in this position, he needs to have his hands like here. Like that would actually work for them to sit the way that they are. Because if his hand is down, then they're sort of like they're stuck to the palm of his hand. Because there should be some gravity having them collecting his fingers or whatever. It would have been easier and better if they were just separate discs. I don't know why they didn't do that, because, yeah, maybe at least no one's ever going to be searching under their table trying to find them. That is a big help, so that is appreciated. But I just have nothing else to really say about this. It's competent. It's adequate. But when you want to build a figure, you don't want to build a figure that's adequate. You want to build a figure that makes you go, man, all right, fine, I'm going to buy that figure or those two figures that I don't particularly want because, dang it, gotta get me that sweet-ass Build-A-Figure. And this ain't a sweet-ass Build-A-Figure, but let's give him a grade. So guys, for the controller Build-A-Figure, I am going to give him a grade of 3.5 out of 10, which is not a good grade, but it's not as bad as we have had for some figures recently. The reason that he's just below the average, because the average is 4 to 6. 4 to 6 is my average range, with 6 being a good average figure and 4 being a not so great but still average figure. This is just below average. I think that this comes into the quality of a bad Build-A-Figure. Very, very disappointing when there's so many more interesting characters that could have had, you know, the Build-A-Figure treatment. This feels like, nah, we want to reuse the Thanos bath. We'll use that. We'll use that. So that's what I think of the controller. Most definitely not an essential Marvel Legend by any means, but if you're a big-time Avengers Iron Man fan, then hey, he might just find a special place in your heart. And guys, that does it for my review. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what you see here and you want to see more, then you know what you gotta do. You gotta join the 6-1 clicks. Let me just throw those controller discs at you and make you do it. Speaking of making you do it against your will, which I would do if I had the power to, why not go over to Patreon? Throw a couple of bucks my way. I'd really appreciate it. You can watch the added videos on there and just sleep easy at night knowing that you're helping out, being a part of the show. Ding! Alright, that was cheesy and awful. Guys, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, that was bad. Hey, there you go. Keep displaying model behavior.
Cup of coffee. Big time